What's up, Epic 7? For those of you who watched my last video and ask all the questions, what if I don't have Elena? What if I don't have Chloe? What if I don't have Specially Change Alexa? I don't want to spend 900 Sky Stones on Specially Change Alexa. Well, have we got a team for you? First, let's get into a couple of the basics on this team. First things first, for the Rift control, you want to make sure you select Blessing Form. This will allow Fenne to self-heal, make yourself a little bit more viable in the fight. Once you get up to higher levels, you'll be able to pick up this penetration relic and you'll be able to switch up to just more damage. But for right now, because of the penetration damage, you will need Blessing Form to stay ahead of the damage. As for gear, I strongly recommend you select pieces of gear from different pools of Reforged mats. Right now I got Wyvern, Banshee, Asmanic, and Cades for my choices. Pick whatever you want to pick. I just recommend you avoid doing things like this, or you're going to run out of Banshee mats so fast, you're going to have to go back and farm Banshee. It's not as optimal. So unless you have a ton of one Reforged mat and none of others, spread it around a little bit. I think you'll be able to maintain your gear leveling needs a little bit easier in Rift. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this insane team. First of all, we are Rift Controller 4 right now. This should work at Rift Controller 2 as long as your gear is enough to support it. If it doesn't quite clear, that's okay. Just keep going up levels, doing 2 clears. You'll eventually get enough damage that you'll be able to slaughter this in a single entry. First, this is our Fenne. Fenne is only at 89% crit chance, but that's because I got Furious on the team, giving her 12% crit chance. That gets her up to 100% crit. If you're not going to run Furious, that's fine. Just make sure you get her 100% crit. I stacked her up to 350 crit damage because crit damage is more important than health in the damage equation, but health and defense are important to stay alive. You want to make sure your Fenne is bulky enough she doesn't die. Well, doesn't die too often. She does get 1 resurrection, but if she dies more than once, there goes your consistency. As for an artifact, you need to run Wondrous Potion Vial. Wondrous Potion Vial is key on this because the boss spams heal block, and if you don't have a way to get rid of that heal block, then Fenne definitely can't stay ahead of the damage. You can try running Stella Harpa, but you're just adding more RNG to it. Run the 4-star artifact, Wondrous Potion Vial. Even if it's not max, you should still be okay. The closer you are to max, the less RNG you're introducing into the fight. The important thing about this is speed tuning. You want her to be between 171 and 173 speed. We found 175, she'll get silenced. We found 170, she'll get silenced. But this 171 to 173 seems to be the sweet spot for turn order based on the boss's movements to avoid the silence. So shoot for the 171 for 173. Try to get her north of 20k health and enough defense to stay alive. Pump the rest into crit damage. You'll be good to go with Wondrous Potion Vial. The other 3 units, and this is important, dip into your storage box and make level 5 units with the imprints. I'm using Jena for a 96 imprint. No gear, level 5. That way she is going to die instantly at the start of the fight. Enott, because he loves Jena, same situation. Level 5, max imprint. Dumped in my storage to do this. If you do this with like level 50 units, there's a chance that they'll survive the initial hit and die from the burns, and that just robs you turns. So it'll still work. It just might take 2 turns to clear until you get to like the RC7 or 8. If you use level 50 units. Furious, same story. Instead of an attack booster, I'm using a level 5 Furious just to give my Fenne that crit chance boost. Now, if you're going to use Fenne outside of Rift, then just slap another attack booster on here to give Fenne more damage and run Fenne at 100%. I will probably shift to that as I'm going to want to use Fenne outside of Rift. But for right now, this is the team I'm running. Don't forget your Rift pet. Your Rift pet, you want to have additional equipment and additional charms. The whole reason you're running Rift is for equipment. So you definitely want the thing that gives you more equipment and the thing that gives you the fuel you need to level that equipment. Once you've got those 2 stats on your pet, that's all you need. You've won the game. If you want to min-max it, the additional double Rift score, that will let you get to higher RCs faster. It'll save you a ton of stamina in the long run. Once you get to RC21, though, this has no use whatsoever. If you want to shift to the one that gives you Reforged mats, go for it, but I don't recommend chasing it. It's 5% chance. 1 out of every 20 runs, you're going to get some Reforge mats. It's not worth chasing. Just make sure you got these first 2, and you're good to go. All right, let's run the team and see how it goes. Fingers crossed, everybody. Important part, at the start of the fight, you want to make sure all your units die. Not take a turn and die from the burns, but die from the impact. So you can see we're at 29 turns, everybody died, we're still at 29 turns. That's the important thing to see. If they take turns and die from the burns, it'll still work. It just might take you 2 clears because you're robbing Fenne of valuable extra attacks at the end of it. And you see the heal block, Wondrous Potion Vial cleanses that right off, so now when Fenne attacks, she's able to full heal. Because we have the RC2, or because we have the second Rift Fragment at RC2, that's giving enough healing to stay ahead of the damage. Without that fragment, she doesn't quite stay ahead of the damage. Now once you get to RC8, you'll be able to pick up the anti-penetration Rift Core, and that will let her take less damage so she can stay ahead of the healing, and you can shift her to a different RC2 Rift Controller to do more damage, to increase the stability of your team. Eventually, when you get to RC21, you'll be able to pick up the Rift Core that gives you permanent immunity, and once you have permanent immunity, you'll be able to switch artifacts out for her. And once you get to RC15, you'll be able to pick up the Rift Fragment that lets her do extra attacks. That will allow you to reduce the gear requirements on the build. And we took a death there, but that's okay. You do get 1 free resurrection, so hopefully we'll be okay for the rest of this fight. All the Rift Fragments do is allow you to get closer and closer to a non-Rift build. It lets you get closer to a PvP build. So if you want to test her in RTA, Guild Wars outside of Rift, that will let you do it. Health's a little low, but we got rid of the heal block and we healed back up to full. Now there is a little bit of RNG to this, right? If the heal block gets nested behind 2 burns and Wondrous Potion Vial doesn't cleanse it, and then the boss, when he hits, he crits, it can one-shot you. That's how we took that death earlier. So it's not perfect. It's not guaranteed no RNG clear. You won't get that until higher Rift Cores, but it still is pretty stable. And if you clear in 2 turns instead of 1 turn, so what? A little bit of extra stamina spent. The higher you get in your Rift levels, the more likely it is to be a full clear in 1 entry. As for the 5-star units, there are plenty of 5-star units that give flat attack, right? There's Talaz, there's Alexa, there's Jena, there's anyway, just sort through them, you'll find some. I will put a list of the flat attack boosting units in the description of the video. You can chase that down if you want. Okay, we're down to 6 bars left, 7 turns left. This one's going to be a little tight. 5 bars left. Four bars left, 5 turns. 3 bars left. Two bars left. We've only got 2 turns. 1 bar left. And beautiful. Full clear with just Fenne. Soloing it at RC4. So there you go. All you people who are complaining about Elena, though, I really hope those of you who saw our testing yesterday didn't immediately run and pull on that Elena banner. If you did, that's okay. Elena's good in other places. But there you go. Full clear with just Fenne. Easy peasy. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you guys have a great rest of your week.